Okay, here we are. We're live. And if you're on YouTube watching the replay, scrub forward until you see something start happening. It'll be a minute or two. So, hi, Barbara, Dee Dee, Kat, hi, Lisa. Scrolling through chat here. Hi, Terry Brett. All right. All right. I think that's it so far. Anyway, so hi, it's Memorial Day here in the US. So, no mail. Everybody's off, which is awesome. Hi, Ellen. Um, Memorial Day is a funny day. Hi, Missy, because a lot of people just see it as a long weekend, but I don't know. I think it's a kind of emotional day because it's a day when you think about and honor the people who have died for the country, and you enjoy your freedoms because of those people. So today, take a minute and honor those people. God bless them, because we have all these freedoms thanks to them. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Memorial Day. And then, second to that, all these city buttholes go home here in a couple hours. So, that makes my day better too. Hi, Charmaine. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Tina. Hi, Zenjen. You made it at least for a little bit. Well, you'll maybe get to see your card shown. I've got, I don't know, maybe there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 to show today. And then people have asked me if I've gotten them, so I know there's more on their way. Um, so yeah, we've had quite a good turnout. We're going to probably end up, my guess is with like 30 people. So for an art swap, that's pretty good, I think. Um, and I'll have ample cards. So I'm thinking again, everybody will get 10 back. I'm not going to promise, but I'm thinking. Hi, Linda Rance. Give Tim a hug. Hi, Joanne. Yeah, I have that here, Jen. I live in a resort area. And yeah, yesterday that somebody probably a quarter mile out toward the main lake had a party, and their music was so loud I could feel the bass, feel it in my house, and it went all day from like 9 in the morning until after dinner. And the thing is, on one hand, I love people here having fun at the lake. Hi, Bossy Butt. But on the other hand, I wish they'd show at least a little bit of consideration. I don't think that's too much to ask, but maybe it is. Maybe I'm just getting old and cranky, which I don't deny. I mean, I could be pretty cranky if I want to be, but I just think it's inconsiderate. So, what else can I whine about? I did get sick last Wednesday in the evening, and I hadn't been out for a few days, so I was really surprised. But I caught a cold, and so I have the remnants of a cold. I'll be sniffling and coughing, and yeah, but I feel okay. I don't feel bad, but Thursday I did. So yeah. Yeah, we have random fireworks. Last night there was a bunch of fireworks. So, and this weekend's actually been pretty rainy, so it's kind of tamped them down a little bit. The road hasn't been like a super highway out here. I mean, honestly, during the week or during the winter, if we have 5 cars a day up and down our road, that's probably a busy day. And honestly, we have people like out there just passing each other on golf carts, on motorcycles, on cars. And it's just walking. It's a super highway out there. Hey, Kimberly, I got your cards to show. So, yeah. Are you done? I'm not going to choke on a Fig Newton because I don't have any Fig Newtons. But if I could find the strawberry ones, I might choke on one. But I have something better that I'm choking on. I'll show you here in a minute. Let me go ahead and start showing some of the cards. Since Kimberly walked in last, I'll go ahead and show hers first. Golf carts and speeding cars. Yeah, that's what we have here. There is a new excuse me, golf cart this year that I've not seen before. That's like a 15 passenger. That thing's like a big ass. Like you're taking a group golfing when you're running around there. So she sent me a cute little note with frogs thanking me for doing the swap. So this is from the Outer Banks. You're not on the Outer Banks, though, are you? Because Robert's daughter lives on the Outer Banks. I think it's they left Avon and have moved down closer to Buxton now. But if you've never been to the Outer Banks, great, fun place to go. Really unusual, not like any other place, really. But it's just one great big sandbar. But it's just okay. You're northern, okay. They call that the Outer Banks, okay. Because I thought you were up north a little bit of Nags Head, but I guess it all would be, huh? Anyway, these are so cute, Kimberly, from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is where Kimberly lives. And they're all pretty much the same. They've got different pictures of the yearbook pictures. They're so cute, though. I'm guessing these are maybe 1950s girls. Yeah, look at the girls. I'm guessing 1950s. But what's funny, and maybe it was an all-girls school or something, but they all have on the same black with a lacy little collar. That must have been a deal. Or it was a uniform, one or the other. I don't know. But it reminds me of Judge Judy. They are. They're cute cards. But when I looked at it, I thought, how did she find all of them with the lacy collars? I wear my sunglasses at night. How cute. So cute. Living large on the Outer Banks. Thanks for playing with us, Kimberly. I'm probably going to do that the whole time. Hi, Flo. Anybody else who came in while I was showing those? The next ones came from Tiana Jameson, which we know as Stargazer, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, she's around as Stargazer. And she sent 2 sets, but said she understands she can only participate once. So they're really cute. These are from California, and she is from California. But I don't know where everybody finds the ephemera that fits just so perfectly on these cards. Golden Gate Bridge. I love the little seals. I don't know if they have bears. Do they have bears in California? It was from 1960 yearbook. Okay, well, I was only a decade off. How my mother would have been dressing when I was born. Look at Mickey Mouse. You shoved a lot of stuff on here, man. And when you guys get your cards, look at them carefully because I think there's so much that you miss when I'm showing them on stream like this. Been to California a few times. Not a place that I am dying to get back to. They're very, very nice cards. Minnie. Well done, Stargazer. And then her other ones, she said she wasn't sure if this would be considered a place. I consider it a place, and this is what I kind of expected from Dee Dee. Bears live in California? Okay, well, there you go. Hi, Brenda. I don't know that I've missed anybody coming in. Stargazer's real name is Tiana, but these are really cute. Alien cards. Let me pull the camera down a little bit. Aren't they cute? Look at that. Look at that background. So cute. I love this one. Look at that. Oh my God. Alien ears. This is glam alien. I know, right? Yeah, the thing on the back, Proxima b, is an exoplanet that orbits Proxima Centauri. It's only 4.2 light years from Earth. Come visit. I love the creativity. Yeah, glam. This is wee bad. I don't know where you find this stuff. Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, the troll dolls. I drew the troll doll for one of the Inktober's. These are obviously wigs. Oh, Stargazer IG. Thanks, Devin. I'd have one of those for a pet. They probably bite though. So well done. So cute. And these came in a great big, like, priority mailer. And it was real fat, real fat. You guys, I can't believe this. I need to be careful what I say on stream because in this big fat package was 2 packages of Trader Joe's dark chocolate orange sticks. You guys, I love these candies. And I had mentioned on my stream recently that I could only ever get these at Tuesday morning. Well, then Tuesday morning closed, and I could only ever get them at Christmas time. Tuesday morning closed, and I haven't been able. Well, I did look up on the internet, and the price was ridiculous. So I was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to find another candy that I love. She sent me 2 packages of these, and then she mentioned that she can find them at her Walmart. I know. So Stargazer, Tiana, thank you. Thank you so much. You can't believe, and this was one of the days I was not feeling really good. I've literally eaten half of one of the packages already. This just made me so happy. I felt so happy. I couldn't even believe it. Now they just sit here open, and I'm trying to be a little bit disciplined and not eat the whole bag in one day. But man, it's hard. So Tiana, thank you so much for participating and spoiling me with orange sticks. But now if I think I can get them at Walmart, even if I could order them from Walmart and have them shipped to my local store, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Now, let me cover up the address here so I can show this envelope because it's really cute. And this envelope is from, I'm going to say his name's Stephan. Stephen. Look at, he drew me monkeys on my envelope coming to Monkey Island. You think that's why I got over my cold so fast? You think, Dee Dee? Maybe that was it. I don't know. But I have to say that day, I walked around all day just feeling so happy and so in love with you, Fibs. You know, just like, how are we so lucky that we have cool Fibs? All right, and he packaged his. He sent me this. I don't want to lose his self-addressed stamped envelope for sure. But he sent me this big sheet. It's not rice paper. I don't even know how to describe it. It feels kind of like handmade paper that's been printed on. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? And it's a big old sheet. So I could like cover a cool journal with it. I don't know, but he sent all of it. And I don't know if he bought it to make this like belly band for his ATCs. Chocolate is very good for us. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And they say dark chocolate is better. I like either. I really don't care if I have milk chocolate or if I have dark chocolate. I can eat either. But I'm not a chocoholic. I mean, it's rare that I have like a craving. But look at these. This little pack of passports. And this is all stamped on the front. And then he put the ATC inside. Isn't that cute? And he numbered them 1 through 10. Wabi Sabi. And they're all much the same design, colored a little bit differently. But I thought these little passport covers were freaking adorable. Why didn't I think of that? So let's flip through them. But they're all basically the same. Nice layout, I have to say. Nice layout. You guys are killing it. You really are. But these little passports I thought were freaking adorable. So Stephan, I'm so glad you played with us. And you guys, if we have a swap or something, participate if you want to. There you go. You can't let comparison steal your joy. That's the perfect way to put it, Zenjen, is just jump in and do it. You know, you'll get some great stuff back. Nobody's going to judge you harshly. I promise you. If I know anything about this group at all, we're all going to encourage each other in whatever you do. And we're going to be thankful that you participated. And I think most of us are thankful that we have art from other fibs. I know I do. I love having art from other fibs. And that's what I'm actually going to do today. I'll get to that in a minute. But Stephan, these were so cute. And the envelope was pretty awesome as well. Hi, Butterroll. Okay, you get gel sticks from Cracker Barrel. Oh, wait a minute. You can get them at Cracker Barrel? Are you kidding, Brenda? Okay, well, I'm going to look then because we do go by a Cracker Barrel when we go to Joplin. I haven't eaten there in forever, but I would go in and scarf on their candy. I do like the little store that they have outside the restaurant. And their pork chops are good. I do know that. Okay, this is a whole bunch of little stuff. And this is from Zenjen. She sent me all her leftover little ephemera stuff. So thank you, Zenjen. She said I could use them or trash them, but chances are I'll keep them. They'll become useful at some point. Wrote me a little note. Thanks for doing the swap. Those are always helpful in motivating me to finish a project. I don't super love these, but I'm happy with my effort. Hope everyone likes them. Take care. So, and then a little envelope that I probably am going to put in my save for next year's Scabby basket that I keep. So these are from, thank you, Devin, Zenjen. And this is, what, or should I make you guys guess? I shouldn't make you guess. This is India. And I only know that. I knew it immediately I saw it because I knew the flag and the peacock. That is the national bird. And you should not feel a bit bad, Zenjen. These are so cute. The little peacocks are awesome. Your backgrounds are awesome. So, yeah. I'm glad you participated. And I know the other fibs will be happy to get these. And each one appears to be hand-drawn and colored. So they are. The backgrounds are very cool too, Jen. And they feel textury. Like, I'm not sure how you did that. It's acrylic paint for sure. So if you're lucky, you'll get one of these. And then on the back, she put different things from India. The henna hand, the elephant. So I'm not good about showing the backs always, but some people do decorate a little bit on the backs as well. So well done, Zenjen. Hope I haven't missed anybody coming in. If I did, I didn't mean to. All the other ladies, I'm sure, will make you feel very welcome. And this is from Jennifer McKinnon. She was at Dee Dee's this morning, so I was able to tell her that I had gotten her cards. And this was a place I hadn't even thought of, but really cute. Hang on, I'm getting to them. Belize. Now, Jim and I at one time had talked about moving to Belize as expats. Yeah, each peacock was unique. Look at these. They got toucans, and I don't know. Let's see. The national flag, the flower is the black orchid. The bird is the keel-billed toucan. The capital is Belmopan. And their currency is a Belize dollar. And when Jim and I were looking at moving down there, the exchange rate was excellent. So these are adorable. And I'm not sure. I think the lettering is cut out like of a cricket because it stands up off the card. They're die cut, and so is the flower. But look at the flower, how pretty that is. And they're all pretty much the same. So, but if you get one, you'll feel the raised lettering, almost like embossed. And then the back, she's got the little fish telling you everything that's going on. Belize is a country I wouldn't mind doing for the passport journal, but I hadn't even thought of it until I got these. And it was just like, oh, these are very cool. And the background's painted like the flag. So there is a huge expat community down in Belize. So very well done, Jennifer. Thank you so much for participating with us. See what you guys are missing by not participating? You could be getting these. And this is from Goldie, also known as Steph. These are funny. She sent me a couple of sheets out of Harper's Bazaar. Looks like it's very aged. I don't know the year. Kind of Victorian ladies. So thank you, Goldie. I forget in between looking at them. Her location is Chictopia. And I told her, I wrote her back and said I'd gotten them, and that I was going to steal these chicken names for the Chicken Conspiracy Journal. This one's name is Clara Cluck. Gave her a date of birth, gives her address, and the breed and the sex of the little chicken, and then their signatures. I don't know if you can see, but they're little chicken footprints. And the date they were issued by Goldie. She loves tea and traveling, long dust baths on the beach at sunset. And then the card itself is decorated. I thought this was so clever. It is. It's so cute, so clever. Yeah, Chicktopia. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that she drew each one of these chickens and painted them or colored them in, whatever. And then all the rest of this stuff in the background is ephemera. This is Shakira, which I told her I'm so stealing these names. She lives at 13 Wheat Lane in Eggland, Connecticut. She's originally from Chico's Lankia. She loves to travel. She collects flowers and delicious seeds everywhere I visit. And look at that little tiny thing there. And there she is on her card. Is that not just too much fun for words? And this is Charles Chicken. His date of birth was February 7th, 1812. This is an old chicken over here, man. He's an author, a journalist, a critic. I travel for inspiration for my excellent, like EGG, excellent books. And look at, that's Charles. These were cracking me up. This is Hen Stefani. She lives at 113 Daisy Lane, Gardensville, Connecticut, originally from Czechoslovakia. Oh my God. She loves to travel, try new bugs, and enjoy excellent art. Look at the look on her face. Oh my God. This is Kelly Cluxon. Me and my 4 chicks travel the world. She's a flower enthusiast, and look, all her little chicks are down there. Look at that one. Oh my God. All the little chicks. They're so cute. You know, it's amazing to see what other people do with ephemera that I wouldn't know what the hell to do with it, you know? I know the names are, this is Garth Chooks, Oklahoma, Connecticut, musician, songwriter, love excellent food and country gardens. Look at that. She's singing. Or he's singing. Yeah, this was Garth Chooks. So cute. So adorable. This is Penelope. She lives on number 9 Feather Row, Wingfield, Connecticut. Retired male lady. Loves to travel and taste excellent new insects. You get dressed up like, oh my God, that's so cute. Dressed up like a mail delivery. Colleen would love these, wouldn't she, Kimberly? This is Feather Flocklear. The names crack me up. Yeah, the pants, I know. They're so excellent. She lives at 103 Alfalfa Road. Loves to travel just for the shell of it. I love a good pun. Joanne, I need one of these. Hi, CB. Just for the shell of it. Love sunsets and long dust baths while on the beach. Look at that. How simple is that little drawing, but it's so freaking adorable. The little Easter eggs. Goldie, you did awesome. This one's name is Hillary Fluff. She's young, born in 2021. She's a professional wine taster. Travels the world tasting new and unique wines. Her favorite is tomato brandy wine. Eclectic taste, I have to say. Look at her in her little dress. Hollowed around her wine bottle. These had to be fun to make. You know, that's what I think. They just had to be fun to make. And this one is just old Henrietta. She lives at number 9 Mulberry Lane in Peckerington, Connecticut. Travels the world paying my way in eggs. I love trying exotic insects. Let me get this one. Just laying an egg right here on the card for you. I know. And it's amazing how much you can shove on these little cards, you know? They have short, sharp bills for pecking. So much fun, you guys. So much fun. Let me separate them into a couple different piles. And then the last one today, and there'll be no mail today, obviously, because it's Memorial Day, no mail delivery. This is from Miriam. Miriam lives in Israel. This is the Antland Republic. Look at that face. And these, she's got like laminate over the artwork. Hi, Joan. The passport number, and she named him too, Alfred. Heading to Sugar Pot. And these are done on, it feels like, well, no, I guess just because of laminate, they feel like playing cards. Look at these faces, you guys. Antland Republic, Astrid D, heading to Under the Sink. Antlandia. Look at them. Oh my God. Heading to Inside the Fridge. But you know what? I have to tell you guys. Last year, I hired True Green to come and do my lawn. I'm trying to take a lot of this stuff off Robert. So I hired them to come fertilize, weedy, or put weed killer on. And I also got their bug spray plan. It's not cheap, but doesn't matter. I have not seen an ant until yesterday in 2 years. So yeah, now I've got ants. This one's name is Dorothy, and she's headed inside the fridge. That's so adorable. This is Henriette. I wonder if it's Henrietta. But anyway, heading to the breadcrumbs. Has fangs. Seaton X headed to the kitchen table. Man, he looks like a warrior. I don't want to see him in my house. This is Filibuster. He's heading out to the garden. The drawings are so flippin' cute. This is Hermie Ops. He's going under Timmy's chair. He's up to no good. He looks like a juvenile delinquent. This one's name is Punchy. He's headed to the cookie jar. They're so cute. This is Rupert O. He's heading to the birthday cake. And I did really have birthday cake donuts, just in case you're wondering. I didn't make that up. This is Upsicle, heading to the light fixture. Oh, they're so adorable. Esquim O, he's heading to the dirty plates. And this one is Ralph Y, and he's heading to the food left in the car. They are. Miriam does come up with the unexpected for sure. So cute. So cute. So, Miriam, thanks for playing with us. And her envelope got here with only one tear in it, so that was awesome. And that's all the cards I have to show today. So I'm guessing by the time we're done, we're going to have at least 30 people. I don't know where we're at right now. And then I also got an envelope from Kikes. When she first came into Dee Dee's chat and she was FN, which was Fortnite Unpeeled, I think we were all a little suspicious that Kikes was maybe a troll. And so we ought to kind of pay attention and get ready to boot her ass if she misbehaved. Turns out Kikes has turned out to be an awesome fib. Funny, fun. But anyway, she just wrote me a little note that says, hopes this letter finds you well. My husband did receive his promotion, which means we'll be moving soon. In our new home, I want to have an artist inspiration wall where I would hang art from my favorite artists for inspiration and general happiness. You have been a huge inspiration to me, especially on my watercolor journey, and I was wondering if I could please have a small piece of art made by you to hang up. So today's project is going to be a small piece of artwork for Kikes, and it's a duplicate of one I've made before that I especially like. So yeah, so Kikes, I'm more than happy to help you decorate your new art room, and good luck finding a house. Yeah, I like the name Kikes too, but at first we were like, whoa, 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 what's this FN Unpeeled? It looks like a troll to me. So anyway, Kikes, yes, I'm happy to make you a piece of art, and I'm going to try and do 2 of them. So I'm going to give one to Kikes, and then I'll give one away just in the chat. I don't know if we'll do a giveaway or if I'll just pick somebody. I don't know. But she, look, she drew me a monkey, and she said, I've never tried drawing monkeys before, and it was super fun. Yeah, she was going to go house shopping today, so good luck with that. Yeah. Show me that butt. That's so cute. And then she sent me these little stickers. He's a little monkey. He's so cute. Little chimpanzee. And then Dad. Sherlock Holmes monkey version. And then she sent some pages out of a calendar. This candy isn't the sharing kind. Okay, cool. Thanks, Devin. Yeah, for the beast. Thursday is just Friday without the hopefulness. How did you see me in my camouflage? Cat calendar, this is cute. No matter what you might have heard, I don't care. This is so me. No matter what you heard, I really don't care. Don't care. Oops, just dropped my stickers. So thank you, Kikes, and I'm more than happy to oblige your request. And I hope you like what I make. And if it turns out crappy, I won't mail it. How about that? And I'll just mail it to your old address. Hopefully you'll find someplace to live soon. So what else? Oh, I was going to show the chicken conspiracy. Joanne, when she submitted her card, sent me a bunch of digital art that she buys off Etsy, and I am going to go buy from a couple of those shops just to support them. But I showed these before, and they're chickens in pajamas, and I love them so much. I love them so much. And she sent me monkeys that are showing their butts. And I've cut them out because I did go ahead and make some copies of these, but look at monkey butts. And Joanne, thank you again. This has brought me so much entertainment and joy. So I decided when I got those chickens, much like when Terry sent me the passport stickers, that I had to do something with them. Because I think it's so easy to leave stuff in their envelope, you know, and say, oh, I'm going to do something later. I'm not good at that. If I don't start something right now when I get the idea, chances are it's not going to happen. So when I got those chickens, because Dee Dee kind of started the whole chicken conspiracy thing, because Dee Dee and I are conspiracy freaks. We talk about them a lot. So, but when I saw the chickens, I was just like, they belong in their own journal. So this is the Chicken Conspiracy Journal. It's pretty small, which takes a lot of the pressure off because that passport journal is big. This is like 8 inches by 6 inches. So it's very manageable size. And Dee Dee at the same time had sent me some of her jelly plates. So I went ahead and decorated the inside cover with that. The problem is I got so carried away on this, I may not have enough to do the back, but I'll make it work. What brand journal is this? Gosh, I don't know. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby during the sale. So, but I think they still carry these, Ellen. I think you can still get these at Hobby Lobby. There's 44 sheets in it, very manageable. They're dot grid paper, which I love. Dot grid is my favorite journal insert paper. So this is the opening, the Chicken Conspiracy Chronicles. And another thing that just happened at the same time was Dee Dee sent me my very own tinfoil hat cap. So, and then I altered it to put Ask Me Anything on it. So it was like a whole bunch of stuff just happening all at once that led me down to the Chicken Conspiracy Chronicles. Oh, crap. I misplaced my tinfoil hat. Not every conspiracy is a theory. Instead of conspiracy theorist, I prefer to be called a connect-the-dots specialist. Conspiracy theorist, a nonconformist, free thinker, a person capable of pattern recognition. Dee Dee, this makes us sound so damn smart, doesn't it? I need new conspiracies. All my others came true. Conspiracy, mark that out, realist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a things don't add up and it's pretty obvious theorist. Aliens, Bigfoot, flat earth. So here's the index, and we've got 2 done already. And the first one, okay, and I am going to, I like using my alcohol markers and stuff, so I will be gluing these pages together. So these 2 will get glued together. And the first one I decided to do was the moon landing, which I think, if it's not the most popular, it's certainly one that has gotten my attention. So, did somebody named Sultry Groove come in? Cool. Hi, Sultry. You like the hat? Yeah. They're available on the internet somewhere. You need to talk to my pusher. So I'll just read through what, and I have been doing the research. On July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11, which was called Eagle, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, astronauts' first successful mission to land humans on the moon. Look at, and her name is Carla Crackhead. It would take a crackhead. Hi, Linda. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, which has become an infamous saying. And the pros, meaning that the moon landing really happened, is that 5 additional crews have landed on the moon. It was the Apollo missions 12 through 17, and that the flags planted on the moon in each one of those missions remain. Now, the original one, the Apollo 11, I don't have it written down, but I know this. It had gotten knocked down, so it's laying on its side on the surface of the moon, supposedly. And the reason people say the moon landing happened is because the number of people involved who would have to be in on the conspiracy would number, whether it be government employees, NASA, contractors, everybody involved. They're estimating at about 400,000 people would have to be in on the conspiracy. And then the rocks gathered analysis and independent scientific confirmation. Okay, and the people who feel like the moon landing was a conspiracy, thank you, Terry, is that when you look at the photography from the moon landing and all that, and of course, how did the president talk to people on the moon? And there's so many things that they'll throw up. But anyway, the photographic anomalies. One, there are no stars in the photos, and the argument for that is, well, it was daytime, so you wouldn't see the stars, but the sky is completely black. The shadows aren't parallel. And then they had a photography expert come on and say that depending on perspective, shadows are not always parallel. But that's one of the big arguments, that the shadows aren't parallel. That some of the photography is cinematic quality. And I would agree with that. Like, if you look at a lot of the photography, it's all grainy and crappy. And but then you see some of the photos and it's literally like cinematic quality. So that's an argument. And the reflection of Neil Armstrong in Buzz Aldrin's helmet, he supposedly taking a picture, there's no camera in his hand. And what they say about that is that it was affixed to his the front of his spacesuit, and so you probably wouldn't see it in the shadow. I don't know about that. And that in the photographs, some of the crosshairs are inconsistent. And they appear in some, they don't appear in some. They're just too inconsistent that they can use that argument. Who knows? And that the flags appear to be waving and there's no wind or atmosphere on the moon. So, yeah, but the way they argue that is that they had a bar across the top of the American flag, and that the wrinkles that you see is not waving in the atmosphere. It's actually wrinkles from travel. I don't know how you can argue one way or the other about that. And then the thing that is most weird to me is that, okay, this was supposedly the biggest thing in the history of mankind, right? That we've actually traveled to and landed on another planet. But then all of a sudden, all the footage from it was accidentally erased. That just doesn't seem real to me. And but then they came back and said, but it was subsequently restored. And they fall back on that argument a lot to disprove all the other arguments. Hi, Shelley. So I don't know. And that we actually apparently after that, and this is something new that I just heard. I had never heard this before, but when I was reading over all this stuff again, is that we gave a moon rock supposedly to the Netherlands, and I think we did. I mean, it's out there. But then they went, and it was supposed to be so valuable, blah, 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 blah. Well, then subsequent analysis proved it to be petrified wood. So are we out giving moon rocks to countries that are just petrified wood? I don't know. And then I think the most compelling argument is the Van Allen radiation belts and solar flares, that we've never been able to penetrate or travel through those. And the argument for that was, well, they found weak portions in it, and that the astronauts were actually only in it for less than an hour. I don't know the first thing about it, so what would I know? And then another very compelling argument is that we didn't have the computing power in 1969. And I heard one of the guys talking about that, saying we have more computing power in each of our cell phones than they had in 1969. What was my career? I went to school for chemistry and just did not have the heart or the guts to go back and get my PhD. So I ended up in the printing industry, and I ran the Denver branch of a forms and management company, is what I did. So I designed forms, printed forms, had a huge warehouse, employees, all that junk. So anyway, and here's the conclusion. And I'm not probably ever going to tell you one way or the other how I feel about any of this because I don't want to argue with you. But the conclusion, according to the internet, is that 5 to 6% of Americans believe it was fake, and 61% strongly believe that we went to the moon and we landed. And I must fall into the 34% that either won't commit or thinks, how the hell would I know? Could it be that it's real, but that the footage is fake? I mean, I think there's a lot of arguments, and I did debate in high school. So whatever argument you present to me, I can automatically take the opposite side and argue it to the best of my ability. But I did take state in the state of Colorado for debate when I was in high school. So I'm a fairly good arguer. And this little monkey, isn't he just, and this is what Dee Dee suggested I do, is put the chicken in the astronaut helmet. Dee Dee, that came out so good. It's just such a little perfect piece, the little artwork, like she was really there. This crackhead, Carla Crackhead, was actually really there. Yeah, the little monkeys are, and then I did have to write a little note down here that the countries who have confirmed that the junk is still on the moon was Russia, China, and Japan, two of which are not especially our friends. So, but yeah, and that the footprints and everything are all still there. And then the other one that I've gotten done so far is Bigfoot. And I think all of us have been exposed to the whole Bigfoot conspiracy. And the synopsis is, and the inspector on this one was Fiona Fell. And the synopsis is Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, Yeti, and many other names around the world, a cryptid, bipedal, large, legendary ape-like creature said to inhabit forests and wilderness areas. The legend has been around for centuries, with accounts of sightings and evidence dating back to the 1800s. Its existence remains unproven. So the pro that Bigfoot does exist is just the sheer number, the thousands upon thousands of sightings, not just in the United States and Canada. Apparently there are Sasquatch in Canada as well. There's just thousands of sightings. There's video evidence. There's audio recordings. There's footprints, and they have some casts up to 24 inches long. So these are very large creatures. And that hair collection, and they've done DNA analysis, and it has come back as an unknown primate. So, and then the con, and this is always the strongest argument for there not being Bigfoot, is that no remains have been found. I don't know if I wrote this down, but I did see an expert talking about evidence out in the wild would last approximately 7 days because of the other predators who would be eating on the carcass, and even the bones will get consumed. So if you don't find a carcass in like 7 days out in the wild that way, chances are you're never going to. And then the places that they inhabit are so remote, to stumble across a Bigfoot would, a dead Bigfoot would be, I don't know, 1,000,000 to 1. I just made that up. But another segment of the group seems to think that Bigfoot could actually bury its dead. So who knows? But anyway, And the evidence is not convincing and is commonly manipulated. And that's true. There are a lot of people who have reported sightings or dressed up as a monkey and had their friend take a picture, so whatever. But that's one of the arguments for, yeah, it's just you goofballs out there trying to trick us all. I don't know. But the evidence for Sasquatch is there, and this is from a wildlife biologist. Says the evidence for Sasquatch is there if you look, but there's institutional resistance to acknowledge it. The idea challenges too many established narratives. And I wanted to copy that down because that's kind of what I feel like about all the conspiracy theories is we're all dependent on somebody else, some authority to tell us whether or not such a thing exists or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. But why is the evidence dismissed, hidden, seized, and withheld? For one would be economic land use restrictions, which would impact logging, mining, real estate, hunting, tourism, which would cost a country, whatever, billions of dollars. To prevent public panic, and they always say for national security concerns. So there's a lot of reasons for them to cover something up. And not just Bigfoot. I mean, everything. I mean, if I gave any of you one piece of advice, it would be question everything. If we didn't learn anything from COVID, learn now. Question everything. And the conclusion that I came up with is the sheer number of sightings is very compelling, just the sheer number. And a certain percentage are going to be quacks. A certain are going to be just hallucination, but a certain number of them, I think you almost have to take serious. So, because they can't all be kooks, can they? So that's where I'm at. But I think, honestly, my advice to everybody would just be question everything. If the government tells you, if the media tells you, stop and question. Question everything. Really. Aliens or demons. Look at Tina coming in here. And I think that's the biggest single argument for at least giving it some credence. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I've seen men who kind of look like Bigfoot because they don't shower and shave regular, but to be out in the forest and actually see something, I'd crap my pants. I'm telling you, it would not be a happy day in my life. Yeah, no, I wear my tinfoil hat with pride. I absolutely do. So, but so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun for me to go do the research and kind of figure out how do I want to present it, what's compelling, what's not compelling, what can I fit in this much space, that's another thing. And I want to do, some little pieces of art. So thank you, Sultry. Yeah, this has been fun. Yeah, I've seen Hairy Man too. I saw one the other day on Instagram. I almost sent it to Terry Brett, and I thought, no, I don't want to gross her out. He was a big old fat hairy man with tight jeans on that barely covered his butt. And he had on these crazy cowboy boots with no shirt, and he was dancing to like mariachi music. And I didn't have the heart. I almost sent it to Terry Brett though, but sometimes, yeah. So what did Devin end up saying she thinks about? There you go, Jen. Yeah, you can spin anything. The Why Files. Oh, the Why Files. Yeah. The Why Files are fun because the guy who hosts the Why Files has a little goldfish that he keeps in a bowl that he acts like he's talking to and helps him with all of his research. It's really good. She's in the interdimensional camp. Okay, yeah. See, I mean, I only gave you a portion of what's out there. I mean, there are another group of people who say that there's aliens involved and everything else. I'm going to try and stay as grounded as I can in my silver hat. But yeah, And I haven't done anything in the passport journal. Hecklefish. Terry's going, thank you. Don't send me that stuff. It was really funny though, Terry. You would have been laughing. But hi, View. Publish a book like that? I don't know. I had enough work. Like when I was able to retire, and I did retire young because my husband got sick, but when I was done with work, the one thing I said was, I never want a job again. And so this is how I feel like, I mean, I'm happy for artists who can turn their love into a money-making proposition. But honestly, I don't want another job. I don't want a job. I don't want to answer to a publisher. I don't want to answer to an agent. I don't want to answer to, and I'd probably have to get like one of those people to protect your your person, you know, like because people would be saying, I found out that she said, yeah, I've said crazy crap all my life. Are you kidding? Like, what do they call that? Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the word. That protects your image, you know? Yeah, but see, you still have to hire people, not a bodyguard. Somebody who puts out only good information about you. Because when the bad stuff starts coming out, it could be overwhelming. Yeah, public affairs, something like that. There's a name for them. I'll think of it. Publicist. There you go. Publicist. Yeah, I would need a publicist. Somebody to protect my image because when all the truth started coming out, it could get really ugly. You know what I mean? Hi, Kristen. Hi, anybody else that came in that I didn't see while I was just running off endlessly at the mouth. So I did go ahead and draw out one of the things that I'm going to paint today. No, I don't, Dee Dee, but if I'm going to sell stuff, like, yeah, you got to kind of care about your, well, never mind. That's why I can't do it. That's why, because I don't care enough about anything. You were a divorce lawyer, got pretty good at reputation spinning. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is they would spin it to make me seem like I'm a nice person. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I want them to do. All right, I'm going to put my pen in my compass. Dee Dee, I love this compass you set. It's so far I haven't wrecked it, which is awesome because I'm really bad about wrecking these compasses that hold pens because I wreck their little plastic screw thing. But this one I am really, really happy with. So I already know the design that I want to create. Let me put this out of the way. All right. And we'll do some little bit of watercolor today, which I haven't done in a while. Oh, but this is it Art Salute Beginner, Terry? That does the geometric. I think it is Art Salute Beginner on IG. I should have looked that up. I haven't done any of this for a while. And I thought, well, that'll be a good thing to get me back into watercolor since I've been conspiracy. Okay, Terry said yes, it is. Yeah, I like Art Salute Beginner too. And she hasn't done any challenges in a while. I try and participate in at least some of the challenge. Got to watch this crazy thing that I'll get the... Look at, I just fixed that, and now I messed it up. Hang on. All right, I think that's right. I might have to glue those arms so that they don't bend, because I'm not good about checking that. But it's not that critical, to be honest. Hey, G3 Brenda. Glad you came back to hang out with us on your day off, and I hope everything's going well for you. Now I'll do another line right next to it where the gold ends up. These should go pretty fast today. Love me some geometric abstract. Looking for the little hole. Damn it, I'm going to glue those shut. I'm getting me some super glue. Look at how narrow that got. My bad. That was from the arm being bent. I'll fix it when I actually put the gold on. You can cover up a lot of mistakes at each stage of the process. So that's kind of thick. Yeah, I don't want it that thick. This new compass does make it really smooth, so I'm happy, happy, happy. All right, which one am I missing? This one. And this one, and then the design. And I just saved that so you guys can see that making the basic design is pretty darn simple. It's more doing the measurements before you start. And I had all that already done. Yeah, the gold is definitely a great cover-up. Fixes a lot of things. So does black. And sorry, the camera's going crazy. It won't be doing that just for another minute. But yeah, this compass that Dee Dee sent, she got it at Hobby Lobby, I think she said. Awesome little tool there. And hopefully I won't screw up the plastic screw. That's what I always do. And then I thought today I would use, these are I don't have very many of them, but these are the Daniel Smith Primatech paints. And they have the actual mineral or whatever in the paints. So they're, I did use measurements, G3, but they have the actual minerals in the paints. They're very pricey, some of them. But if the mineral itself was shimmery, the paint is going to be shimmery. And because the minerals themselves can be a little bit heavier than maybe their binder or what they're floating in, that they granulate really nice as well. So, yeah. And the reason I don't have very many of them is because they are very, very pricey paints. But there's some colors in here that are just too good not to have. So collect more aluminum cans to get them if you need to. That's my free advice. And don't believe what the authorities tell you. Now watch. Somebody's going to show up at my door. What are you putting out there on the internet? So don't believe everything you hear. Question everything. But yeah, if you look up Daniel Smith Primatech, I usually look on the Blick website, but Jerry's Artorama, any real art store is going to have the full line of the Daniel Smith Primatech. They're fun paints, very fun paints to paint with. Don't necessarily behave like the dye-based watercolors, and that should be plenty of paint right there. So I'm going to use that's called, let's see, number 16 is Fuchsite Genuine. So I don't know what Fuchsite is, but that's what it is. You should, Jane. Hi, by the way. I don't think I said hi when you came in. And then I thought Kyanite Genuine, which is it's this blue right here. Very, very pretty. Really pretty. One of my favorites. And then I thought for the other areas, I was going to use the one right next to it, which is the Blue Apatite. And the Blue Apatite, I think they sell that as the Primatech line and just regular Daniel Smith. But these re-wet really nice. But these two that I've chosen are a little bit shimmery. I'm not necessarily a shimmery, glittery kind of person, but in these paints, they're not annoying. And I don't know why shimmery is annoying, but yeah. Yeah, I like the granulating watercolors too. And there's also, which was it? Was it Sennelier? I don't know. I have 3 or 4 of another brand that I keep in with my Daniel Smith and M. Graham, and I always forget that they're another name brand, but they're really nice too. So, but the thing is, when you get into these paints, the granulating and the Primatech, stuff like that, they can get pretty pricey. So to just play, I mean, I'm not doing fine art here, so don't leave me a message either, because cat and paste is nice. I'm not so nice. Just saying, just warning you. Daniel Smiths are nice paints, as are M. Graham's. I think any of the artist grade, they're all really nice. What did I get on there? It fell out of my nose. What the hell? Yeah, but anyway, hi K-Bug. Yeah, you can buy some nice supplies. And I don't think there's a rule about whether or not you do fine art or by crafters using these supplies make it more expensive for artists. You know what? We're all here doing the same thing. Buy what you can afford, enjoy what you can afford, and quit being so damn critical of everybody around you. Nobody cares. How you buy it like that? How about if I tell you that? Hi, Painty Girl. All right. So, sorry. My lingering cold. And I'm not going to do wet on wet or anything like that. I'm just going to go, and I'm going to paint this twice. So, but we're not talking a lot of skill or effort here. If you can manage the compass and a paintbrush, you can do this. And you can do it with any grade watercolors. So don't think you have to have artist grade. Use what you have, love it, and leave other people alone. How about that? I won't find fault with you if you don't find fault with me. Well, I might. Who am I trying to kid? And you don't have to be so precious because the lines in between that I've drawn, I'm going to fill that in with the mica gold ink. And then it turns beautiful. I do like these colors together, but you guys know, blue, green, cool colors are kind of my jam. And the gold will cover up a lot of sins over here. Going to be really careful, keep my hands out of the paint, out of the wet paint. So if you guys have any conspiracies you want me to look into, send me a message on IG. I think the next one I'm going to do is, just because I think it's funny as hell, is the flat earthers. I just think that is like a funny conspiracy. I saw a picture, somebody, I don't know, it probably was AI generated, but when they did a model of the flat earth, it actually looked like a wax seal. Looked just like a wax seal, but it seemed a little cuckoo to me. But I'm gonna go into it with a really open mind and let them try and convince me. I've not spent any time on flat earth, so I don't know anything. And I don't know how, well, I'm going to do the research this week. So, but I don't know how I didn't get enough paint. I don't know how the flat earthers describe the solar system. That was one of the things that I was really curious about was, well, then how do they explain the solar system? Or is that just all made up? I don't know. Smash those digits. Thank you, Jane. And I'm painting on very inexpensive bee paper that you can fetch up down at the Walmarts. They sell a really big pad for like $11 or something. But I have to say, I work on it a lot. And I am, in fact, a fan of the bee paper. And I bought their mixed media and drawing paper as well. And for what you're paying for it and the amount that you get, it's not a horrible product. So, and the reason I'm making two is because I'm going to give one of them away. If I don't get them done today, I'll finish it. I mean, I'll do the giveaway today, but I'll finish it in the next day or so. And then get it out in the mail. So Hi, Mary. Flat Earth is hilarious. I know. A lot of this stuff, looking into it, you probably get more exposure to stuff that you wouldn't be exposed to otherwise. A lot of the Bigfoot stuff I had never seen or actually even considered before. So yeah, I'm sure the flat earthers will really get me going. I guess one thing I was surprised about, even after, I mean, I've known about Bigfoot forever, but I'm surprised at the number of people who have turned the whole Bigfoot thing into a livelihood. That this is what they do. They collect up expensive equipment, go out in the woods, and they do this for a living. But I don't know who's paying them. Bye, Zenjen. I don't know if there's like a Bigfoot society where, I don't know. I thought, how can you do that? And some of them were young. They couldn't possibly be retired and just do this in their spare time. And they're spending a lot of money to travel and buy the equipment. And I thought, dang, I didn't do something right in life. I actually had to work for a living. Of course, the people who are doing stuff for TV, they're making good money. And they've got all the funding in the world that they need or want. So I wonder if Jamie, I'm going to ask him. My son does LIDAR, which is mapping, light emitting mapping, where they fly over an area. And they did, for example, the show called World War II Gold, which was looking for the treasures that were supposedly in the Philippines. And they did a LIDAR, wasn't an experiment, but they just flew over to see where the old paths were and stuff like that to see if they could maybe identify where all this stuff was hidden. And they did, I thought, pretty amazing work doing that. And I wonder if he could fly over and see the pathways that Bigfoot would use regularly, or if it would just, well, of course, they can eliminate the trees because they go down to terra firma. It would be a fun livelihood for sure. But I think the only way you'd really ever make money doing it is if you had some way to monetize it, put it on TV, make movies, make documentaries, stuff like that, Yeah, LIDAR is pretty fascinating. And I always have to admit that I feel stupid because when Jamie told me that his major was going to be geography, I was like, well, you better be happy being a teacher because what the hell are you going to do with that, And now he's out doing leading edge technology. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, he makes a lot of money doing that, Jane. Some of his biggest customers are public utilities. Yeah. Garbage companies, power companies. Yeah. He's got a pretty good deal going, actually. All right. I need to do a little experiment here and see. Yeah, that'll be light enough, I think. We'll see. We'll know pretty darn quick. A little darker than I would have liked. Let me add some water to it. Wait a minute, maybe. No, that's got to be the darker of the two, I think. I might have put the wrong one. Oh, well. We're going to go with it now. Look where my fingerprint is resisting the paint. Excuse me, you guys. I'm doing my best here. Getting over this. And we've been having a lot of rain this spring, a ton of rain. A lot of lightning, thunder. It's been a crazy ride here the last couple of weeks, and we've got another week of it coming. Here we are almost into June, and I've not had to water my yard at all. That's cray. I'm not seeing the sparkly in this paint, so I'm wondering, I think I used the wrong paint for the wrong section, but that's okay. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. You're really dry down in Texas, CB? Yeah, we are getting a ton of rain. I mean, it just seems like endless. But I have to say, everything's beautiful and green. I mean, Mother Nature's loving it for sure. I just don't like the storms at night, because they can always build up into a tornado, and we have enough of that crap around here. And I don't want to get up out of bed at night and go out to this storm shelter. I just don't want to have to do that. Because princesses should only have to deal with tornadoes during the day. But I'm really not complaining. It's been a really pleasant, beautiful spring around here, so I should just shut up. And this paper will warp a little bit, so that's why I'm trying to hold it down with my fingernails so I don't get a little oily spot there. And really, there's not much else new around here. Get through this holiday weekend, wait for all the city buttholes to go home. And then I'm back to sheer happy all the time. I'm going to pick up some of that blue in there. Try and keep them all somewhat the same. I might have watered it down too much. We'll see. Now this one I wanted to be, yeah, this has a sparkle in it. So, all right. I am going to go over those a second time because I want a dark section of it. I will definitely darken those. Definitely. Gets quiet in here, sorry. So I hope you guys are having a good Memorial Day. Pretty quiet around here. Yeah, the color really does. Hi, Starla. It'll be better when I darken up that one. I mixed up. I wanted this blue in those areas and that blue in these areas. So I'll just darken it up and it will definitely look different. It's what I get for not paying attention. I'm good though. I do like this color combination a lot, so it'll work out. I promise. And it'll really be awesome when the gold gets on it. Can you see the sparkly at all? I don't think you can. Maybe when it's a little drier. When you're using these Primatech paints, stir it up pretty often because the minerals do sink to the bottom. And so your sparkle will be inconsistent. I'm trying to remember to do that. I need some more paint anyway, so let me just get some right now. And the one I'm using now is this one. And I'm going to go ahead and get out that darker. Maybe I'll go over it with the soda light. But that I used the blue apatite. I might have to go direct from pan though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Keep feeling like there's something in my throat. A fig Newton, yeah, I could probably should have eaten something right before I went on, but I feel like there's something in my throat. But I'm not really whining because I feel pretty darn good today. I am going to look, though, for a strawberry fig Newton next time I go to the store. I don't know if I've ever seen them. I'm not a huge cookie person, though. I'd rather have a donut than a cookie any day. But Robert is a cookie monster. You know what? I think I'm not going to use I don't want to use black, so I think what I'm going to do to darken up those areas where I did the other one, I think I'm going to get out some Payne's Gray, because that's what's going to make it look really pop. They're right with the regular ones. I'll look. I got to get my Daniel Smith tray out. I do have the blue-gray in the Kiritaki, though, too. I think I'll just use Payne's Gray. I've hidden it from myself. Ooh, you know what else might be fun? No, I'm not going to mess with that. I was going to say, I have some water-soluble art craft, but I'll play with that another day, I think. This is the one I want. Quit dropping stuff. I think I'm going to use the Payne's Gray. Almost black. This is the Blue Apatite that I was using, but I think I'm going to go Payne's Gray. Oh, and I forgot to fill up my pan. What a dope I am. That's okay. I think there's enough in there. I do have to remember to do that, though. Payne's Gray is truly one of my very, very favorite colors in watercolor. And this is the M. Graham Payne's Gray. I don't think it matters if you use the M. Grahams or the Daniel Smith or any of them like that. I'm pretty sure that the mixture for Payne's Gray is going to be the same in all the artist grade paints. And I guess I could. I'm going to add some of the Blue Apatite in there. Give it a little bit more blue. Now watch, next time I go to use Payne's Gray on stream again, I'll say the same thing I just said. Dang it, I forgot to fill the... I know me. All right, let's double check. This should be pretty dark because I didn't water it down much. Yep, way better. Way, way better. But there's still a little bit of blue left, or blue in there, so that's good. I'll be happy with that, maybe. See how the dark it just works out better. I would have preferred these were dark, but that's okay. Live and learn. Hopefully it'll still look pretty cool. And you guys, we've got about a week until the ATC swap deadline. I think you probably, if you're domestic, you could probably still get them in the mail and get here before I do the swap. Usually a week domestic is adequate, but much beyond that, if you're international, I'd say you're already done for. But I think domestic, you could probably still get them here in time. And Canada, what happened with you guys' strike? Does anybody know? I'll try and remember to read chat to see if you guys are still anticipating a strike, or did the strike happen? Did they settle? What's going on in Canada in your mail? Because I thought probably what I would do is, if the strike is still going on when the swap happens, I will probably just hold your cards until, I mean, I'll swap you out, obviously, along with everybody else, but I'll just hang on to them until, okay, the strike was postponed. Okay. That's good news. Y'all better get talking and decide. They didn't strike yet. See, that's just it. And I wish I'd done this middle section, but I mean, it probably at the end of the day, it's all the same. But in my mind, the way I had it kind of planned out, yeah, but that's okay. We will make it work. Or we won't, because at the end of the day, it's all still just paper. And it can always end up right in the trash. That's pretty much how I feel about everything. Not going to let it freak me out. I'll just start over. Do something better the next time. Did Miriam come in? Miriam, your ant cards were awesome. Their little faces were priceless. I think I showed 7 different sets at the beginning of the stream, so if you missed it and you're interested, you can always go back and see what all the fibs created. I actually think it was a pretty good swap topic because it could really let your imagination fly. One of them I showed today was Chicktopia, I think. What was chickens, which was funny, and yours were ants. We had some alien ones today. So some people got very creative, and they were all fun to see. It is kind of amazing the the difference that that dark makes, right? And if you do something like this, I think 3 is a pretty good number of colors to be manageable and look cohesive. So sometimes limiting your palette is a good thing, depending on what you're working on. But for something like this, 3 is a great number. Because I will add, I'm not sure if I'll add white on this one or black. I just haven't decided yet. So one of these is going to Kikes. And one I will just give away to somebody in chat. Trying to level it out. I'd probably put my finger in it. So unlike me, I know, but all right, let me hit him with a heat gun real quick. That green is just so pretty. Hang on. Lost my heat gun. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Joan. There it is. Heat gun. I'll set this one aside. It's not completely dry. This one's probably dry enough. And now you can decide if you want to doodle in it. What do you want to do? You actually don't have to do anything. I like kind of doodling in it. And so I think, let me think. I'm looking at what pens I have here. Oh, those orange sticks are just yelling at me. Eat me. All right. Let's see which it is. Normally I would go with black or white at this point for doodling inside of, but I think I'm going to, on the green, use a green pen, but I want to see how much this is going to stick out, if it's a good selection. I have to test out everything. Ooh, that felt good. All right, let me heat gun that real quick. That's kind of bright, isn't it? Seeing what else I have. Here's another. Ooh, I don't know which one I like better. I think I'll use the Paper Mate. That was a good choice, though. What else? Other color. Ooh, here's a Pen and Gear. Oh, I'm using the Pen and Gear. Okay. So nice to have tons of pens to choose from. I'm so lucky. when I get the gold in here, those will actually be 3 sections. And I think the gold will go right over this ink. So you kind of see it there in the paint, but it's real muted, which I like a lot. And your doodles don't have to be really fancy or anything. It's more, I don't know, just compliments. Yeah, the gold does just absolutely make it look so cool. And I think to save time, because I've only got like an hour left, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish one of them. So you'll see what they both look like. And then I'll give one away and finish the other one probably in the morning. I'm going to have to go to town this week, which really grosses me out. But sometimes you just have to adult whether you like it or not, you know? I wish I had a personal assistant that could do my groceries, clean my house, cook my meals. Why don't I have that? Yeah, it seems to, Terry. That's why I'm not worried about drawing in the lines where the gold is going to be. I don't think the gold will pick it up and move it. I really don't. And if it does, live and learn. When Kikes asked for some art, I thought about doing a Zentangle. I haven't done just Zentangle in a while. But then I thought, no, because she's really enjoying watercolor, I'll do watercolor. But sometime soon, I'm going to have to do another big Zentangle drawing. All right, that be cool. I like it. Oh, I don't mind driving. I just don't like dealing with people. Driving is walk in the park, man. All right, so let me see. What do I want? I think I'm going to do... I don't think I want to do white. Well, the thing about white on watercolor, you guys, is the watercolor will like reactivate and your white won't be white anymore. So I don't know. This might be a little bit too bold, I think. All right, we're going to try it. We may be sorry, but let's try it anyway. Not too bad. And I will do the second one probably, unless I just look at this one and hate it when it's done. I'll probably do the second one very much the same. I don't want to put my hand in that wet paint, so I'm trying to be kind of careful here. I'm not hating it. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Thanks, Tina. Wait until the gold gets on it. I wasn't exactly wanting that, but since I goofed up the colors, my bad. And then probably the borders on this is black. I think I will go ahead and do, but I don't know how big I want them. I think I'll do some black polka dots. Those white lines really are in your face, aren't they? I think they'll tone down here in a minute, though. $55-gallon drum of ink over here. I can't believe every time I look at this crazy thing, look at this giant Mamba Jamba thing of black ink. I thought it was going to be one of those little bottles. Like, how much black ink can you go through in a lifetime? Look at this 55-gallon drum. Holy crap. So I am trying to use it. It's a lot. It is a huge bottle of ink. It's a ridiculous sized bottle of ink. Because when the picture looked like it was going to be about that big, you know, just a little bit of ink. Yeah, well. All right. Where is my little dot making tools? I did try and get everything out today and be somewhat prepared. I don't know. We got these with the nail art paintbrushes and stuff that we bought, and I have to say these have been a ton of fun. How to make perfect dots. Okay, that's a good size. I like that. I'll pull you guys back down. Sorry. Focus, you freak. Now I'm going to have to be really careful because this black ink, it's on there fairly thick. I'm going to have to be really careful to keep my hands out of this. Come on. Ew. Look at this camera. Right now it's just annoying me. Why will it not focus? Or is it my eye? There we go. In this area, is it just my eyes? I'm thinking it's just lazy as hell is what I'm thinking. There, that's better. Okay, thank you. Why do I have to bribe the damn camera? It's probably something I'm doing. Whatever. Being careful. And if you're using your dot tool and your circles start getting wonky, just wipe off your dot tool. It means your ink is starting to dry. See, Tina, that's how they get started. CIA is messing with me now. Some of them get pretty weird, the conspiracy theories out there. But you have to keep an open mind, you know? Who's to say? And I've reached an age where I think most people, doesn't matter what evidence you present them, are not going to change their mind. It does not matter what evidence you produce. Their mind is made up, and that's that. So just you wasting your breath. I think there's a lot of people like that. Just wasting your breath. My stomach's growling. I did eat this morning. So far, so good. Haven't put my hands in anything wet. Banner day in my life. I'll hit this with the heat gun here in a minute. And then the gold's going to start going on, and then it gets really, really good. Still in your pajamas? Shoot, by the time I get done streaming, it's getting fairly close to dinner time around here. Or at least I got to start preparing something if we're going to eat. Tonight I'm thinking just like a chicken salad or something, you know? I don't know. I've been trying to be pretty kind to my stomach since I wasn't feeling good. No barbecue ribs or anything like that. All right. One more section. Believe it or not, these dots are going to use up most of that ink I put out. Check chat here in just a minute. Done and done. All right, now comes the very fun part. Hi, Rachel. Excuse me. You're in your PJs too? Well, so you guys just don't get dressed. That's cool. Okay, this section over here is drawing. So let me hit it with a heat gun because next I'm going to put the gold on and paint the border. So thanks, Tina. Heat gun. Oh, it's 10 p.m. It's hot outside. I'm naked. I think I could work on this side safely now. That's still probably damp over there, but I think it's, yeah, it's dry enough. I could work over here. Believe it or not, it's only 60 degrees here. It's, we've not had the really warm days that, we normally get. Now you can put the this mica ink down, and these areas are probably big enough that if I'm really careful, I could go ahead and put it on with a paintbrush, but I put it on with this ruling pen. Just, in my opinion, a little bit easier to control. I get nicer, smoother lines, so yeah. The ruling pens you can buy on Amazon, they're cheap. And you just adjust the point here, how much ink you want flowing. And this is fairly thick, but it flows pretty nicely and dries quickly. So, yeah, works out. pretty good. I think this is the funnest part of this, is when the gold goes on and then I sharpen up the lines on the edge, and it's just like, comes out so different than what you think going in. It's almost like the whole thing is working through the uglies until you get to this part. But the ink does flow really nice and smooth, so it's not like you get big blobs or anything. And you can control the edge real good. So if you look for the gold ink on Amazon, it's Kuretake Mica. I bet we've sold 1,000 bottles of this stuff for them. I'm on my second bottle. I've used up an entire bottle. And the watercolor underneath is not moving. So that's very cool. And it goes a long way, you know, the ink does. I'll do that side in a minute. I'm going to give it a little bit more time to dry. And over here, I think we're pretty good. And this is where, if I've goofed up at all, and I did, some of my lines were not same thickness, this is where I'm going to make those corrections. You won't even probably notice it happening, but this is where I'll do that. Try and make it look as uniform as I can. Probably should have taken a little bit more time with the drawing itself, but it'll be okay. If the ink quits flowing, just smack it a couple times, it'll flow again, but that's an indication that it's drying. So I'll wash it here in just a second. Come on, I only got a little bit left, and then I'll clean it. There we go. And I did just dip it in water and wipe it out. And then start fresh again. Oop, now see? Just put my finger in that gold right there, because I'm a dumbass. Why don't I just move on to something else and come back to it? Because I'm a dumbass. You'd think I'd learn, right? I think it has something to do with how my brain works. You know, like I want to get this section done. I don't know. I wish I understood. It'd probably explain a lot. And honestly, I've had a lot of gold paint pens and different gold pens in my life. I don't think I like any of them as much as this gold mica. There's just something about it that nothing else can compare to. But honestly, this does dry fairly quickly, so it's not like you have to wait long to work around it. That's the one hard thing about streaming watercolor or something like this is you have to wait for the drying time. It's your favorite too, Tina? Yeah. I've just never had anything like it. I did have a Zig gold pen that I loved, but I like this even better than I like the Zig. Getting about time to wash it again. That's one thing if you're using a ruling pen like this. Don't let your ink dry in it. You'll create a bunch of frustration for yourself, and it's just not necessary. It's so easy to clean. All right, focus, you freak. Let's see if I can get it to focus again. What the hell is wrong with this camera? Well, Zig is made by, yeah, but it's a different product, Tina. But yeah, Zig is a Kiritaki product. Certain manufacturers that you can trust, and Kiritaki, I think, is just one. I've never had a Kiritaki product that I was unhappy with. Made in Japan. I've loved every Japanese pen I've ever owned. They just got that stuff figured out somehow. And I get one more chance to kind of square things away because I'll go around this gold with a black fine line. And so there, where I'm not really happy that it's not as smooth as I would like, I can fix that with the black. But when you're working on watercolor paper, it's not like working on Bristol. You have the texture that you have to contend with, but what are you going to do? ADHD, you think, Miriam? You think? I have a little bit of ADHD going on over here. I'm not sure if it's ADHD or not. I mean, I was in a line of work where everything was so precise. The entire printing process is very precise. And then when we got into the business of printing in large volume for the customer, for example, client billing and stuff like that on continuous feed paper, precision was, I mean, you had no room for error, really. So I think that's partly the way I am, the reason I am the way I am. That was my job. You couldn't be off. And you didn't want to have a million of them sitting on your shelf that were wrong. I promise. Not you, the camera. That's why. Oh, that could be. I thought you were telling me I'm ADHD, which I mean, I have some tendencies, I'm sure. But yeah, could be. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that little center part right there. Probably put a little spot of the lighter blue paint in there. Oh, that is still just a wee bit sticky over there. See how different it is now with the gold on it? Work through the uglies, man. And even though my lines, I don't know if y'all noticed, but my lines weren't exactly parallel, I've been able to fix some of that with the gold. So and if all else fails, glue something on top. I think after I do this little bit of gold, I'll hit it with a heat gun so I can work on the inside without smearing it up, because if I smear it up now, I will be pissed. There is no correction for that. Pull out just a hair. Excuse me. All right, let me hit it quickly with a heat gun. It dries quick, but I don't want to goof up now. A little bit wet. I'll start over here. And I did just wash the pen, so. And now I have to decide too, when I start outlining this gold, see, I put my hand right in it. Do I want the gold lines like interweaving or not? I always like them when they're kind of interweaving. I think it just adds a little bit more dimension to it, but not that big a deal. Got a couple places there to clean up, but not bad. I'm going to start paying attention to the time, so I should be able to finish it, I think. Yeah, that gold is covering up those lines really good, so you can't see where I've drawn on them. So, yeah, that's cool. When I'm dipping my pen, I'm just barely dipping it. It dries too quick to put too much in your reservoir. I know I get quiet, you guys. When I'm doing this, I am really paying attention because I don't want to have to clean up my mess later. We're so lucky to have all the cool stuff we get to have. I was just thinking about why I said that was because if you've ever watched much or read much about book illumination, and if they wanted gold in their sheets or on their artwork, whatever they were working on, what a utter pain in the butt that was. And now we just have these cool bottles with all the ink we want and cool utensils and tools and stuff. That would be cool, Sultry Groove. Yeah, if you're a good seamstress, or yeah, that would work out really good. Our life is so easy compared to using gold leaf and all the dyes and stuff that they used to have to use. We can slap out a project in an hour or so. What would have taken them days? Mind you, I'm not comparing this to book illumination art, okay? I'm just talking more about the tools and supplies we have available. No, we're very lucky. I guess we're just not as meditative about it, because if you read about it, there was the whole process of readying your supplies and stuff like that, that it was kind of a Zen thing that they got into. Screw that Zen stuff. Just get me my stuff. All right, you chat people are being real quiet now. I hope you're doing something you enjoy. Okay, I did. You see, did I connect that whole circle all the way around? Do I want that gold in the center or black? I don't know. Normally, I try and plan it so that the lines butt up against each other and I don't end up with that little space. But now I've ended up with it and I got to decide what to do with it. Should have enough ink to finish this. I hope. Woohoo. All right. I'm thinking black or dark blue center. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. You're painting along? Awesome, bossy butt. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll put that, just a dot of the Payne's gray in there. Set that aside and let it dry. I'm glad I decided just to work on the one because I would never have gotten this far. Your tools clean up pretty well if you don't let them dry. Okay, let's just look. Put some lid on the ink. Okay, how it started and how it's going. And I'll finish that one later. All right, where is the black ink? Probably should have done that with a pen, but that's all right. It's okay. Let me hit it with a heat gun so I don't start smushing ink around. I'm sorry for my voice, you guys. Thank you, Kat. What size paper? It started out as a 9x12 sheet of B paper that I cut down to these. The two that I just showed are 6x6, and so I got a panel left over. I don't know, what is it, about 3-4 inches wide. So yeah, probably 4 inches wide. But yeah, I just buy that big pad of 9x12 B paper down at the Walmarts. Thank you, Starla. All right, I think now to do the outlining, I think it just depends on how you want it to look. I could do like a 3-point nib just to kind of straighten them all up, but I think on this one I want the black lines to stand out a little bit. So let me and I've got to decide right now if I want the lines to intertwine. I think I'm going to have them intertwine. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it intertwined. So wherever I start outlining this, okay, let's say I'm going to go under this one. I went under that, so I'm going to go over this one. Under this one. And I'll connect those when I'm doing the other ones. And now I can straighten up any of the little edges of the gold where the paper kind of was uneven. Yeah, I can fix that now. And so I went under there, so I'm going to go over here. And hopefully, when I do all of them, it'll all work out. Thanks, Bossy. Hi, thanks, Dorothy. It reminds you of artwork in the space section of encyclopedias you had back. Yeah, encyclopedias were awesome. Okay, so I went under there. I'll go over here. And these Uniball, they are waterproof. So when it dries, yeah, shouldn't have to worry about it. But sitting on top of this gold, it will take a minute to dry. So I could smear it really easy if I'm not careful. All right, I went over, so I'm going to go under here. And that one actually worked out. It's over down here. So if that one worked out and I keep doing it right, they should all work out. And because I did that one, the rest of them I won't have to figure it out anymore. It should just all work out. Unless I goof up. But the cool thing about it is if you goof up now, you can go back over it with gold and it will be like having an eraser. Okay, so I went under there. I'm going to go over here. Okay, that one worked out. So the rest of them should work out just perfectly. You have the steadiest hands ever. I am not a shaky person, that's for sure. I will agree with that my hands are fairly steady. Now, let's hope that continues as I age because a lot of older people get shaky hands. I have not had that, but another thing is if you move more slowly and more methodically, I think it's easier to steady your hand. Another thing too I do, and I don't know if you guys do it, rather than follow the nib of the pen, my eyes are out in front of the pen where I want my hand to follow, and that seems to work really well. So I think if you want to steady your hand, try looking out in front where you want your hand to go, not where your hand is. That's been pretty good for me. Okay, I think the black is dry enough. I could put my hand on it. That's where I smeared it a little bit, but I think I cleaned it up with that little bit of ink there, so that's cool. All right, so this one's going under. You can hide a lot of goof ups. I shake, but when I draw, I do not shake unless I'm trying to draw a straight line. Yeah, and that's why I think if you follow with your eyes, Cindy, it's almost like it's a trick on your brain or something. That went under. This one's got to go over. It's almost like you're tricking your brain somehow. I really believe that. Where if you watch what your hand's doing and you're right at the nib, it's almost like your hand can't help but go cuckoo. But it could be just the way I trick my brain because it's so easily tricked. I don't know. All right, hang on. This is under. This one's going to be over. I might have to go back in and add a little bit of gold there on the edge. We'll see. But I didn't go off the page with it. All right, so that's over. Yeah, it worked out. I hope all the city people are leaving. Your gold lines are super fat. Did you draw them fat or how did that happen? Okay, this one's I'm going over. Or did you want it that way? If you wanted it that way, then that's good. I tried to keep all these somewhat consistent. I can see that they're a little bit, but for the most part, they're all within tolerance, in my opinion. So this one under, this goes over. Okay, that's over again. And it's easy to draw along the edge of the gold because there is just a really small ridge that your pen tends to just ride along. So, hi, woman. Yeah, we did show some really awesome ATCs at the beginning. Now I lost my place. I have to go back and redo all of this. I was on this one. All right, I must have finished that. So now it's just this one. All right, so this one went under, so this one's going to go over. I really don't want to smear it at this point. This is when I start holding my breath. Don't goof up now, girl. And that's under, so this one's over. Get a sip. What's the screen name? You had to redo your compass marks because I couldn't see well through. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why having that compass where you can put your pen in makes such a big difference. Because if you do it with just pencil, yeah, your watercolor will obliterate that. All right, that one was a. See, I was talking and not paying attention. I could have goofed up there. Okay, this one's over. And I take the time to do that so that if I lose my train of thought or I'm not paying attention, the chances of me screwing up are less. See, I know all the tricks because I've done it all. But even still, all I'd have to do is go over it with the gold and erase it. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right, that was under. Now we're going to go over. I might go back. We'll see. And do some shading where they're going, you know, intertwining. I might go back and do that. Okay. One more left is all. Okay, so that one was over. This one is under. Okay. I think it's going to work out perfect. I really would rather draw, pull the ink toward me. All right, so that one's over, this one's under. I don't think I screwed up. Focus, you freak. ADHD freak. I don't know what's with this camera. I'm about ready to clock it. I'm not kidding you. Hey, Lady Jen. Yep, messing with gold today. All right. Now, I'll get out some fresh black ink. Same black ink that I used for the dots. There's my little rag. Can't believe I'm not as dirty as I usually am. All right, where's my little paintbrush? There it is. And this again is one of the brushes that came with the those nail brushes. These have been the handiest brushes ever. I think you get 4 in the set. And for making a straight line, perfect. Perfect pens. Let me get. I'm just put the paper here so that when I go over the edge, I I don't have to clean up the ink later because I'm lazy more than anything. And I did wet the brush before I dipped it in ink. But see how easy it is to keep that straight? That the point of this brush is just the best for doing a straight line. And see how I got that white right there? I'll have to go in there with a little bit of gold. I think I'll do that right now. So I don't forget. And then if I go into the border, I can come back and clean it up. That'll need a little bit of cleanup, but it's okay. Better that than forgetting it, you know? Come on. Work with me here. I need to clean that lid. Probably got too much ink. All right, Starla, I'm ready for your question. Go, girl. Why don't you use the ruling pen for the black ink? One, the paintbrush is much quicker, and I guess I could, but it would just be so much more tedious. And you got to be a little bit careful with what kind of ink you put in that ruling pen. Fountain pen ink doesn't work real well because it's just formulated different. I think this Speedball would be fine. They're a little bit thicker ink, you know, meant to be opaque, so it's just a little bit thicker. Fountain pen ink, I don't know would work well. I probably should try in the ruling pen. It could just end up running out, but I think the Speedball, here, we'll give it a try and see. If I dip it in. Yeah, see, it's not just running and dripping out, so I could go ahead, but to me the paintbrush is just, yeah, just more expedient because I'm impatient that way. But I know fountain pen ink it's just formulated to flow more, and I don't know that reservoir would hold it, or you'd have to re-ink so often that it wouldn't be long before you'd be cussing. And if you need help with that, I'm an expert. But for these borders, this is just expedient. All about the expediency. And I could just as easily use the brush for the gold as well. But because the area is smaller and I'm getting into tighter areas, I think the ruling pen makes that easier. So I guess it's just whatever the circumstances calls for. Because I've painted with that gold mica a ton of times. If I have a bigger area and the pen would be tedious. Now, the mica gold ink, don't ever think that you could put that in your fountain pen. If you want to ruin your fountain pen, that's the way to do it really quickly, because it's thick and it dries so quickly that, yeah, it wouldn't be long before your fountain pen would start objecting. I haven't done a fountain pen show in forever. Just cleaning up these corners where I didn't match that up perfectly. See right there? Yeah, I think I'll do that. This one I had to do this way because it's so noticeable. But that's okay. Okay. All right, that's not bad. And I probably will go ahead and, yeah, see, I'm going to have to add some gold there as well. Right there on the edge, you can kind of see where it didn't just, everything didn't fall in place like it should have. Annoying. That's all right. There's always a fix for everything. Now just go back with some little bit of touch-up later. Oh, Putin. Oh. Why are you guys eating at food? Talking about food when I'm hungry. All right. My time here is up. Thank a service member today, you guys. We are so fortunate that we have the freedoms, liberty that we do, and we can thank our servicemen for that. And go out in the world and try and be nice. It's hard, I know. But yeah, do the best you can. And I'll send that on out to Kikes. Oh, yeah, I'll do the giveaway. I'm going to give away another one exactly like this. Let's do a number between 1 and 100 like Dee Dee does. Let me go to random.org. Let me type in go. It'll be for anybody, anywhere, international and domestic. I only have one to give away. And put in one number only. If somebody has your number, that's just tough crap, man. They beat you to it. But don't delete your number. This is how Dee Dee should be doing her instructions. One number only. If you delete your number, I'm going to have Cheshire Cat come over and kick your ass. But yeah, everybody can play 1 through 100 after I type go. So if you win, you'll get one identical to that. That I will finish tomorrow. Yes. Excuse me, you guys. All right, let me get random.org up here on my phone while you guys are cramming your numbers in there. And I'll probably shove some other junk in with them as well. Dee Dee is so much sweeter. Well, duh. Are you kidding me? Of course Dee Dee's sweeter. That's why we're so perfect together. She's so nice. Ugh, she's so nice. I'm not that nice. And I'm okay with that. All right, got random number on my phone. Didn't even check if I was human this time. What the hell? Are they letting bots go on there now? All right. Everybody get their number in. Hurry up. 1, 2, 3. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Anything after stop does not count. All right, let's go back. Random number between 1 and 100. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. 32. 32, 32. First number closest without going over. Man, it's harder to do on StreamYard chat. What the heck? Look at Devin. Oh, Cat and Paste got 8. Barbara's got 18. Who did I miss? There's got to be somebody closer than that. Oh, okay. Looks like Joyce Boring has 25. See if you guys agree with me. Right now, I'm thinking it's Joyce Boring with 25. All right. They're agreeing. Joyce Boring, let me double check. I may have your address. And then you won't have to mess with me. All right, Joyce, it doesn't look like I have your address. Unless I have it in here as something else or under something else, but I don't think I have it. So Joyce, send me your address at my email. I just put it in chat. Don't forget the period after the M. I'm glad you came, Sultry. I hope you come back and join us again. There's a bunch of us in this group that stream. Dee Dee Willingham, who is in chat right now, streams Wednesday morning. If you can get to her stream, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Also, Devin Rex for Art is a jelly print. Oh, that's right. You did have trouble messaging me. Okay. How did we end up doing that? You and your son ended up messaging Dee Dee. Well, wait a minute. Did you send in some ATC cards? Maybe I have your ATC cards and I already have your address. Thanks, CB. Let me get this squared away with Joyce Boring. That's right, because Dee Dee had to act like a go-between. Yeah, we'll see you somewhere. So Joyce, okay, Dee Dee has your address, Joyce. If you don't mind, I will get your address from Dee Dee, but you need to give me permission right now. You'll get your son to do it? Okay. Or just say Dee Dee can give you my address and Dee Dee and I will take care of it. Thanks for coming, Cat and Paste. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go fix us some grub because I'm starving. I'll get the other one done. And I know your time is valuable. I truly do. And I appreciate you spending it with me. So go out and have a great life. All right. Love you. See you. Bye.